Qur'an chapter 12, Surah Joseph. Translation by Muhammad Al-Amrani. In the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Alif, Lam, Ra. These are the verses of the clear book. Indeed, we have sent it down as an Arabic Qur'an so that you may understand. We narrate to you the best of stories by revealing to you this Qur'an, though before this you were among the unaware. When Joseph said to his father, "O my father, I saw 11 stars and the sun and the moon. I saw them bowing down to me." His father said, "O my son, do not relate your vision to your brothers, lest they plot against you, for Satan is to man an open enemy. Thus your sustainer will choose you and teach you the interpretation of events and perfect his blessing upon you and upon the family of Jacob, just as he perfected it upon your forefathers, Ibrahim and Ishak. Truly your sustainer is all-knowing, all-wise." In Joseph and his brothers there are signs for those who inquire. When they said, "Joseph and his brother are more beloved to our father than we, though we are a group. Truly our father is in clear error." They plotted, "Kill Joseph or cast him into some distant land, so that the attention of your father will be yours alone, and after that you can be righteous people." One among them said, "Do not kill Joseph. Rather, cast him into the depths of a well, so that some passing travellers might pick him up, if you must do something." They said, "O our father, why do you not trust us with Joseph, while we are indeed his well-wishers? Send him with us tomorrow to enjoy himself and play, and we will surely protect him." Their father replied, "It saddens me that you should take him away, and I fear that a wolf may devour him while you are heedless of him." They said, "If a wolf devours him while we are a strong group, then we would truly be losers." So when they took him away and agreed to throw him into the depths of the well, we revealed to him, "You will surely inform them of this affair while they do not perceive." And they came to their father in the evening, weeping, saying, "O our father, we went racing and left Joseph with our belongings, and a wolf devoured him. But you will not believe us, even though we are truthful." And they brought his shirt, stained with false blood. He said, "Rather your souls have enticed you to something, but patience is most fitting, and God alone is sought for help against what you describe." Then a caravan passed by, and they sent their water drawer. He let down his bucket and exclaimed, "Good news! There is a boy!" They concealed him as merchandise, but God was aware of what they were doing, and they sold him for a low price, a few silver coins, for they had little interest in him. The man who bought him in Egypt said to his wife, "Take good care of him, for perhaps he may be of use to us, or we may adopt him as a son." Thus we established Joseph in the land and taught him the interpretation of dreams. And God prevails in his decree, though most people do not realize it. When Joseph reached the fullness of his strength, we granted him wisdom and knowledge, for thus do we reward the righteous. But the woman in whose house he stayed sought to seduce him, closing the doors and saying, "Come to me." He said, "God forbid. He is my sustainer, who has made my stay honourable. Surely the wrongdoers never prosper." Indeed, she desired him, and he would have inclined toward her, had he not seen a clear sign from his sustainer. Thus did we turn him away from evil and indecency, for he was one of our sincere servants. They both raced toward the door, and she tore his shirt from behind, and at that moment they found her husband at the door. She said, "What is the punishment for one who intended to harm your wife, other than imprisonment or a painful punishment?" Joseph said, "It was she who sought to seduce me." And a witness from her household testified, "If his shirt is torn from the front, then she is telling the truth, and he is lying. But if his shirt is torn from the back, then she is lying, and he is telling the truth." When her husband saw that his shirt was torn from the back, he said, "This is indeed one of your schemes, for your schemes are great indeed." Then he turned to Joseph and said, "Joseph, turn away from this matter, and you seek forgiveness for your sin, for you were indeed among those at fault." The women in the city began to whisper, "The wife of the governor is trying to seduce her servant. She has become infatuated with him. Indeed, we see her in clear error." When she heard of their scheming, she invited them and prepared a banquet for them. She gave each of them a knife and said to Joseph, "Come out before them." When they saw him, they were astonished by his beauty, and they cut their hands, exclaiming, "God forbid, this is no mere mortal, this is none other than a noble angel." She said, "This is the one you blamed me for. I did try to seduce him, but he firmly resisted. And if he does not do what I command, he will surely be imprisoned and humiliated." Joseph prayed, "My sustainer, prison is more beloved to me than what they are calling me to, and if you do not turn their plot away from me, I may incline toward them and become one of the ignorant." So his sustainer responded to his prayer and turned their plot away from him. Indeed, he is the all-hearing, the all-knowing. And after all this, it occurred to them to imprison him for a time. And 2 young men entered the prison with him. One of them said, "I saw myself pressing wine," and the other said, "I saw myself carrying bread on my head, and the birds were eating from it. Tell us its meaning, for we see that you are one of those who do good." He said, "No food will come to you with which you are provided, except that I will inform you of its interpretation before it reaches you. This is part of what my sustainer has taught me. I have left the way of a people who do not believe in God and who deny the hereafter, and I have followed the way of my forefathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It is not for us to associate anything with God. This is from God's grace upon us and upon all people, yet most people do not give thanks. O my 2 companions in prison, are many lords better, or God, the one, the all-powerful? What you worship besides him are mere names you have named, you and your forefathers, for which God has sent down no authority. Judgment belongs only to God. He has commanded that you worship none but him. This is the straight religion, but most people do not know. O my 2 companions of the prison, as for one of you, he will serve wine to his master, and as for the other, he will be crucified, and the birds will eat from his head. The matter about which you inquire has been decreed." He said to the one whom he believed would be saved, "Mention me to your master." But Satan made him forget to mention it to his master. And so Joseph remained in prison for several more years. The king said, "Indeed, I have seen 7 fat cows being devoured by 7 lean ones, and 7 green ears of grain and others dry. O assembly, explain to me my vision if you can interpret dreams." They said, "It is but a confused jumble of dreams, and we are not skilled in the interpretation of such dreams." Then the one who had been saved of the 2 said, after some time had passed, "I will inform you of its interpretation, so send me forth." "Joseph, O man of truth, give us your interpretation of 7 fat cows being devoured by 7 lean ones, and of 7 green ears of grain and others dry, so that I may return to the people and inform them so they may know." He said, "You will sow for 7 years consecutively, and whatever you harvest, leave it in its ears, except for a little from which you will eat. Then will come after that 7 difficult years. They will consume what you have saved for them, except for a little that you will preserve. Then there will come after that a year in which the people will be relieved, and in which they will press grapes into wine." And the king said, "Bring him to me." But when the messenger came to Joseph, he told him, "Return to your master and ask him about the women who cut their hands. Indeed, my sustainer is aware of their scheming." The king asked, "What was your affair when you sought to seduce Joseph?" The women said, "By God, we know no evil of him." The wife of the minister said, "Now the truth has come to light. I sought to seduce him, and indeed he is of the truthful. So he will know that I did not betray him in his absence, and that God does not guide the schemes of the treacherous. And I do not absolve myself. Indeed, the soul is prone to evil, except for those upon whom my sustainer has mercy. Indeed, my sustainer is forgiving and merciful." Then the king said, "Bring him to me so that I may take him exclusively for myself." And when the king spoke to him, he said, "Today you are established in our presence, a man of trust and honor." Joseph said, "Appoint me over the storehouses of the land, for I am indeed a good keeper, knowledgeable." Thus did we establish Joseph in the land where he could settle wherever he pleased. We bestow our mercy upon whom we will, and we do not let the reward of the righteous go to waste. And truly, the reward of the hereafter is far better for those who believe and are conscious of God. Joseph's brothers came and entered into his presence, but he recognized them, while they did not recognize him. And when he had furnished them with provisions, he said, "Bring me a brother of yours from your father. Do you not see that I give full measure and am the best of hosts? But if you do not bring him to me, then you shall have no measure from me, nor shall you come near me." They said, "We shall surely persuade his father concerning him, and we shall do so." Joseph said to his servants, "Put their merchandise back into their saddlebags, so they may recognize it when they return to their family, and perhaps they will come back." When they returned to their father, they said, "O our father, we have been denied further provisions unless we bring our brother with us. So send our brother with us, and we will be granted more food, and we will take care of him." But he said, "Should I entrust him to you as I entrusted his brother to you before? But God is the best of guardians, and he is the most merciful of the merciful." And when they opened their baggage, they found that their goods had been returned to them. They said, "O our father, what more could we ask for? Here are our goods returned to us, and we will obtain food for our family and protect our brother, and we will receive an extra camel's load. That is an easy measure." He said, "I will not send him with you until you give me a solemn promise in the name of God that you will bring him back to me unless you are surrounded." And when they had given him their solemn promise, he said, "God is a witness over what we say." And he said, "O my sons, do not enter by one gate, but enter by different gates. Yet I cannot protect you from God's decree. The decision rests with none but God. Upon him I rely, and let all who trust place their trust in him." And when they entered in the manner their father had instructed them, it did not avail them against the decree of God, but it fulfilled a desire within Jacob's soul. Truly he possessed knowledge which we had taught him, though most people do not know. And when they entered the presence of Joseph, he drew his brother close to him and said, "I am your brother, so do not be distressed by what they have done." When he had furnished them with provisions, he placed the royal cup in his brother's saddlebag. Then a herald called out, "O caravan, you are thieves!" They turned back and asked, "What is it that you have lost?" They said, "We are missing the king's cup. Whoever brings it shall have a camel load of provisions, and I am responsible for it." They replied, "By God, you know we did not come to cause corruption in the land, nor are we thieves." They said, "What shall be the penalty if you are found lying?" They replied, "The penalty is that whoever is found with the cup in his possession, he shall be held as a slave. Thus do we punish the wrongdoers." So Joseph began searching their bags before searching his brothers, and then he brought out the cup from his brother's saddlebag. Thus did we plan for Joseph. He could not have detained his brother under the king's law, unless God willed it so. We raise in degrees whom we will, and above everyone endowed with knowledge there is one all-knowing. They said, "If he has stolen, a brother of his stole before." But Joseph kept it within himself and did not reveal it to them, saying to himself, "You are in a worse situation, and God knows best the truth of what you allege." They pleaded, "O mighty one, he has an aged father, so take one of us in his place. We see you are among the doers of good." He said, "God forbid that we should take anyone except the one with whom we found our belongings, for then we would indeed be unjust." And when they had despaired of persuading him, they withdrew to confer in private. The eldest among them said, "Do you not know that your father has taken a solemn pledge from you before God, and before this you failed in your duty concerning Joseph? I shall not leave this land until my father permits me, or God judges for me, for he is the best of judges. Return to your father and say, 'O our father, indeed your son has stolen. We bear witness only to what we knew, and we could not have guarded against the unseen. Ask the town where we were, and the caravan with which we travelled, for surely we speak the truth.' Their father said, 'No, rather your souls have enticed you to something evil. But patience is most fitting Perhaps God will bring them all back to me, for he alone is all-knowing, all-wise." Then he turned away from them, crying, "Oh, my sorrow for Joseph!" And his eyes became white with grief, for he was filled with anguish. They said, "By God, you will not cease remembering Joseph until you are on the verge of death, or already among the perished." He replied, "I only complain of my suffering and sorrow to God, and I know from God what you do not know. O my sons, go and search for Joseph and his brother, and do not despair of the mercy of God. Verily, none despair of the mercy of God except the disbelieving people." When they came before Joseph, they said, "O noble one, we and our family have been struck with hardship, and we have brought but poor merchandise. So give us full measure and be charitable to us. Truly God rewards those who are charitable." He said, "Do you know what you did to Joseph and his brother when you were ignorant?" They cried out, "Is it truly you, Joseph?" He replied, "I am Joseph, and this is my brother. God has been gracious to us. Verily, whoever is mindful of God and remains patient, then God does not let the reward of the doers of good be lost." They said, "By God, indeed, God has preferred you over us, and we were surely in the wrong." He said, "There is no blame on you today. May God forgive you, and he is the most merciful of the merciful. Go with this shirt of mine and cast it over the face of my father. He will regain his sight. Then bring all your family to me." When the caravan set out, their father said, "Indeed, I sense the scent of Joseph, though you may think me senile." They said, "By God, you are still lost in your old delusion." But when the bearer of good news arrived, he cast the shirt over his face, and he regained his sight. He said, "Did I not tell you that I know from God what you do not know?" They said, "O our father, ask forgiveness for us for our sins. Indeed, we were in the wrong." He replied, "I shall ask forgiveness for you from my sustainer. Indeed, he is the most forgiving, the most merciful." Then when they entered the presence of Joseph, he embraced his parents and said, "Enter Egypt, God willing, in safety." And he raised his parents to the throne, and they all bowed to him in reverence. And he said, "O my father, this is the fulfillment of my dream of long ago. My sustainer has made it come true. He was kind to me when he brought me out of prison and brought you here from the desert, after Satan had stirred discord between me and my brothers. Indeed, my sustainer is subtle in what he wills. Truly, he is all-knowing, all-wise. O my sustainer, you have granted me power and taught me the interpretation of dreams. Creator of the heavens and the earth, you are my protector in this world and the hereafter. Let me die in submission to you and join me with the righteous. That is from the news of the unseen which we reveal to you. And you were not with them when they plotted their scheme. And most of the people, even if you strive, will not believe. And you ask them for no reward for it. It is nothing but a reminder for the worlds. And how many a sign in the heavens and the earth do they pass by, while they are heedless of it? And most of them do not believe in God except while associating others with him. Do they feel secure that there will not come upon them an overwhelming punishment from God, or that the hour will not come upon them suddenly while they are unaware? Say, "This is my way. I invite to God with clear insight, I and those who follow me. And exalted is God, I am not of those who associate others with him. And we did not send before you except men to whom we revealed from among the people of the cities. Have they not travelled through the land and observed how was the end of those before them? And the home of the hereafter is best for those who fear God. Will you not then reason?" They continued, until when the messengers despaired and thought that they had been denied, there came to them our victory, and whoever we willed was saved, and our punishment cannot be repelled from the wicked people. There was certainly in their stories a lesson for those of understanding. It is not a fabricated tale, but a confirmation of what came before it, and a detailed explanation of all things and guidance and mercy for a people who believe.